What if everything you believe about belly fat burning is completely wrong right now? Look at your stomach in the mirror and grab that stubborn soft layer tightly. You have tried workouts, calorie cutting, low carbs, and still nothing actually changes. It feels frustrating, confusing, almost like your body is secretly working against you. At some point, it stops being physical and starts feeling deeply personal inside. Like, no matter how hard you try, your belly fat refuses to leave. And that thought slowly turns into something dangerous. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe I lack discipline. Maybe I am just not strong enough to fix this. But here is something most people never hear, and it changes everything completely. This is not about willpower, and it never really was from the beginning. Because what you are dealing with is not a motivation issue at all. It is a biological trap happening inside your body every single day. And once you see what is really controlling your fat loss process, you will realize the problem was never you, it was the system. Your body is not failing you, it is following signals you were never taught. And once you understand this, everything about belly fat and metabolism starts shifting. Because fat loss is not controlled by effort, it is controlled by hormones inside you. Specifically, one powerful signal that decides whether you burn fat or store it. This is where most people get completely misled by outdated fitness advice online. They focus on calories, workouts, and discipline, while ignoring what actually controls fat burning. And that is why they stay stuck, repeating the same cycle without real results. So if the system feels broken, it is because you were given the wrong rules, not because your body is weak, but because your biology is being mismanaged. And the moment you fix that signal, everything begins to change much faster. That signal has a name, and it controls your belly fat more than anything else. It is called insulin, and it acts like a lock on your body fat storage system. Every time you eat, even healthy foods, your insulin levels begin to rise quickly. And when insulin is high, your fat cells are physically blocked from releasing energy. This means your body cannot access stored fat, no matter how hard you train. So you burn what you just ate, instead of touching the fat you want gone. And this is where the real trap begins without most people ever realizing it. Because modern eating habits keep insulin elevated almost the entire day without breaks. Snacking, small meals, constant grazing, all of it keeps the fat locked inside. So the more often you eat, the less chance your body has to burn fat. And once you see this clearly, one question becomes impossible to ignore. What if the solution to stubborn belly fat was not eating less, but eating less often? Not another diet, not another workout, but a biological switch already built inside you. A system your body has used for thousands of years to survive and burn fat efficiently. It is not extreme, it is not dangerous, and it is not something new or experimental. It is simply the state your body enters when you stop constantly feeding it, a state where insulin finally drops and fat burning becomes possible again. But here's where most people get it completely wrong and fail quickly, because the problem is not fasting itself, it is how they experience the beginning. Let's be honest, the first hours of fasting do not feel smooth or easy. You might feel tired, distracted, even slightly irritated for no clear reason at all. Around that familiar eating time, hunger hits harder than you expected it would. And this is exactly where most people quit before anything meaningful even begins. They assume something is wrong, like their body cannot handle fasting properly. But what you are feeling is not failure, it is simply your body adjusting. It is reacting to a sudden change in a routine it has followed for years. Your system expects food at certain hours and sends signals when it does not arrive. And those signals feel real enough to convince you to stop immediately. But if you pause for a moment and observe instead of reacting automatically, you will notice something surprising happening just beneath that discomfort. That feeling you call hunger is driven by a hormone called ghrelin inside you. It rises at the exact times your body expects food based on daily habits. If you always eat at 8 a.m., ghrelin spikes right on that schedule. But here is the part most people never realize about this hunger signal. It is not a command that you must eat immediately to survive. It is simply a reminder, a learned pattern your body repeats automatically each day. And like any wave, it rises, peaks, and then fades away on its own. usually within 20 minutes, even if you choose not to eat anything. So what feels urgent is actually temporary and completely under your control. And once you stop reacting to that signal, something much bigger starts unlocking. To really understand fat loss, you need to see how your body stores energy. Imagine your body like a kitchen with two different places to store fuel. One is the fridge, and the other is the freezer in the back. The fridge holds glycogen, which is sugar stored from your recent meals. It is easy to access, quick energy your body uses throughout the day. The freezer is your body fat, long-term storage saved for later use. It holds far more energy, but it takes effort for your body to access. Now here is the rule your body always follows, and it never breaks it. As long as there is food in the fridge, it will never touch the freezer. Every time you eat, even a small snack, you refill that fridge again. So your body keeps using easy energy instead of burning stored belly fat. And that fat stays locked away, untouched, exactly where you do not want it. This is why constant eating keeps you stuck, even if your food looks healthy. And once you see this clearly, the next step becomes impossible to ignore. Now here is the moment almost nobody reaches, but everything depends on it. It takes your body roughly 10 to 12 hours to empty that fridge completely. Until that point, you are not burning fat. You are just burning your last meal. Your body is still running on stored sugar, not touching deeper fat reserves. But once those glycogen stores run low, something critical begins to shift inside. Your body pauses, senses no incoming food, and is forced to adapt quickly. And that is when it finally reaches for the freezer and unlocks stored fat. This process is called metabolic switching, and it changes everything about fat loss. For the first time, your body starts using fat as a primary fuel source. Energy becomes more stable, and those constant hunger spikes begin to calm down. But what happens next goes far beyond simple fat burning and energy balance. This is where everything changes and where real belly fat burning finally begins. Around hour 14 to 16, your body enters a completely different metabolic state. Insulin drops to its lowest levels, removing the barrier that kept fat locked away. And when insulin falls, fat-burning hormones begin rising quickly inside your system. Noradrenaline increases, giving you more energy, sharper focus, and unexpected mental clarity. This is not weakness. This is your body preparing you to survive and perform. At the same time, a key enzyme called hormone-sensitive lipase becomes activated. This enzyme acts like a key, unlocking fat cells and releasing stored energy. Triglycerides break down into fatty acids and move into your bloodstream for fuel. This is real fat loss happening, not just calorie burning or temporary weight changes. And here is something most people never expect when entering this fasting state. Your metabolism does not slow down. It actually begins to increase instead. Because your body believes you need energy to find food and stay alert. You are not shutting down. You are shifting into a more powerful operating mode. And this is exactly why stubborn visceral belly fat becomes highly vulnerable here, because it responds faster to these hormonal signals than any other fat type. So once this window opens, your body starts targeting the fat you hate most. And that is when the transformation truly begins to feel real and noticeable. As your body shifts into fat burning, your brain begins switching fuel sources too. Instead of relying on glucose, it starts using ketones produced from stored fat. These molecules are a cleaner, more stable source of energy for your brain. And this is where many people notice something unexpected happening inside their mind. The mental fog begins to lift, and focus feels sharper without constant crashes. Energy becomes steady instead of rising and falling throughout the entire day. You feel more present, more alert, almost like your brain is working differently. And just as this clarity builds, a deeper concern usually starts to appear. At this point, one question starts getting louder in your mind than everything else. What if I am losing muscle while trying to burn stubborn belly fat? It sounds logical, because No food should mean your body breaks itself down. But this is where biology works very differently from what most people assume. When you enter a fasting state, your body releases human growth hormone rapidly. Not a small increase, but a significant surge that protects lean muscle mass. This hormone signals your body to preserve protein and prioritize burning stored fat. From an evolutionary perspective, this makes perfect sense for survival under pressure. Your body needs strength, speed, and function to find food and stay alive. So it protects muscle while shifting energy production toward fat as fuel. You are not breaking down, you are becoming more efficient at using energy. And once you understand this, another deeper benefit begins to make sense. As fat burning continues, something even deeper begins happening inside your cells. Your body activates a process called autophagy, a built-in cellular repair system. Instead of focusing on digestion, your cells shift attention toward cleaning and rebuilding. They begin breaking down damaged proteins, worn-out structures, and useless cellular waste. Think of it like a cleanup crew finally getting time to restore everything properly. This process improves efficiency, reduces inflammation, and supports long-term metabolic health. It is one of the reasons fasting is linked to anti-aging and disease prevention. But here's what makes this even more interesting for people losing belly fat. Your body does not just remove internal waste, it also targets unnecessary tissue, including excess protein structures that contribute to loose skin after fat loss. So instead of just shrinking, your body is actively refining and rebuilding itself. And once you see this clearly, one final myth needs to be completely destroyed. This is where one of the biggest fat loss myths completely falls apart. People believe skipping meals forces the body into starvation mode and slows metabolism. But that idea comes from chronic dieting, not from controlled fasting cycles. Eating slightly less every day signals your body to conserve energy over time. But fasting works differently. It creates a clear on and off metabolic pattern. Your body switches between feeding and fasting without staying stuck in one state. Because of this, it never fully adapts or slows down like traditional dieting. Instead, it stays responsive, flexible, and efficient at burning both fuel sources. And once that flexibility returns, everything about your body begins to change. At this point, something deeper starts shifting beyond just fat loss and metabolism. You are no longer someone constantly thinking about food every few hours. You are no longer controlled by cravings, energy crashes, or strict eating schedules. Instead, your body begins operating with a new level of flexibility and control. You can go hours without eating and still feel stable, focused, and energized. Your mind feels clear, your energy steady, and your body finally feels responsive. This is what metabolic freedom actually looks like in real life for you. Not restriction, not struggle, but the ability to switch between fuel sources naturally. You are no longer dependent on constant sugar intake to feel normal and alert. And over time, your body becomes more efficient at burning fat when needed. You start trusting your body again instead of fighting against it every day. And once you experience that shift, going back to old habits feels impossible. Now the question becomes simple. How do you actually start without overwhelming yourself? You do not need extreme fasting, long protocols, or anything complicated at all. Begin with a 12-hour window, which already includes most of your sleep time. Then slowly extend it to 14 hours as your body starts adapting naturally. From there, move towards 16 hours, where real fat burning begins activating consistently. During this time, keep things clean and simple with zero-calorie drinks only. Water, black coffee, or unsweetened tea will help you stay consistent easily. Avoid anything that spikes insulin, even small additions like sugar or flavored drinks, because even a small spike can reset the entire fat-burning process again. Keep it simple, stay consistent, and let your body do what it was designed to. But here is the part almost nobody talks about, and it can ruin everything fast. You can do 16 hours perfectly, unlock fat burning, activate all the right signals, and then destroy the entire process in less than 5 minutes without realizing. Because the moment you break your fast, your first meal sends a powerful signal. If that meal spikes insulin too quickly, the fat burning process shuts down instantly. The freezer door closes, and your body switches right back to storage mode again. This is why some people fast consistently, but still struggle to lose belly fat. It is not the fasting window that fails, it is how they exit it. And once you understand what to eat and how to break the fast properly, you turn this into a system that works every single time without guessing. So if you want to fix that final mistake and accelerate real fat loss, make sure you watch the next video because that is where everything connects together.